Well, we received a number of texts yesterday to the show suggesting there was only one rugby result that stands head and shoulders above the rest from the weekend, so we thought we'd better follow it up. Southland Boys High School were crowned, as you heard, national champions in Palmerston North after defeating Westlake Boys in the Final Four 32-29. They also won the Moaska Cup, a prized position in school rugby that is played for, like the Ranfurly Shield. It now heads south, all the way south. And Jason Dermody, who is a teacher at Southland Boys, he's also the head coach of the First 15. Dermody, a very famous name down there in the Deep South. He's on the line with us now. Morning, Jason. What a fantastic achievement for your lads.
Yeah, morning, Smithy. Hey, thanks for having me on. Yeah, fantastic achievement for the boys in the school and the South rugby community and the whole community. The texts that we've had and the messages have been unreal. Pretty much took me from Palmerston North to Wellington to reply to all of them.
It's a staggering story, this, and a bloody good one, and I mean that in the most sincerest fashion, because here we are talking about rugby maybe waning around the country, a lack of interest from here and there, some schools struggling for numbers, etc. But clearly not down your way.
No, we still have a real good following at our school with rugby and that sort of stuff. Just it shows our success. We won the South Island Under 15 tournament the last couple of years, so whatever we're doing here seems to be working. Just these boys are filtering through to the top level, just getting through to the next level, which will be fantastic.
So what are you doing? What do you feel the secret is with this particular crop of players?
There's no secret, mate. It's just pretty much we base it on hard work, just getting the job done. These boys, it's just testament to those last 3 or 4 weeks. They just keep turning up. There's been reports here we've had injuries, but the boys that have just stepped into their roles and that have just done the job with no fuss, really, like true Southland grit, pretty much. I know people talk about it and that sort of stuff, but this is a testament that it actually works.
32-29 over Westlake, 2019 over Palmerston North Boys High, 29-28 earlier on in the piece against Christchurch Boys. Man, you know how to take it down to the wire, but come out on the right side of it.
Yeah, it's just those big moments. We took a couple of kicks to win a games and that sort of stuff, and then with 20 minutes to go, one of our coaches ran on to the boys when it got close. He said, "We love this sort of stuff. We're made for it." So, and the boys just grew another league. So, quite a bit of belief. I talked to a couple of people, and I even told the team, like 2017, we went to the top 4. I was lucky enough to be one of the coaches, and even as a coach, I was just happy to be there, and we played accordingly and got spanked by Hamilton Boys. And when we saw the 3 teams going this year, after our first meeting together, when we made the top 4, I said, "Boys," I told them straight up, I said, "I was happy in 2017 to be there." And I said, "We've got a chance of winning this whole thing." And the boys just looked at me, and just the trust and belief they had in me, they said, "Far out, this is possible." So I actually can't believe it happened. But I suppose if you dream and believe and work hard and surround yourself with good people, good things can happen.
I was reading an article about your success, and Headmaster was saying one of the great things about this particular squad and all things out of Southland Boys High is that they're locally born and bred. You don't go signing or sending scouts around the country looking out. So that must be quite gratifying.
That's huge, mate. Yeah, we're a Southland team. Yes, we have boys that come from other schools in the last couple of years to come to our school, but they're not staying in the hostel for free. They're paying their own way. We don't have scholarships. They do it off their own bat. We don't actively go out and recruit people. So this is a Southland Boys High School First 15, and they've won the national championship. So
right, okay, yeah. I was just wondering about the standard of rugby. How many First 15s around the Southland area? What's your regular competition look like before you get to this stage?
So we play in the Otago schoolboy competition, under 18 competition. We play there's 12 teams in that competition, so they have a top 6, bottom 6. So we predominantly play in the top 6. So our big rivalry is the Otago Boys, obviously. Kings High School, a very strong team. John McGlashan, obviously, they got to the top 4 last year. They're traditionally strong now. Waitaki, who else? St Kevin's are in that thing. Wakatipu are going to be, in the next 10 years or so, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, just with the population growth in Queenstown. They've got some really good coaches wrapped around them. So rugby in the southern region is quite strong. obviously we've got our local schools here that play in the under-18 competition. Every now and then they pop up some really good players. Testament to that, we've got one of the boys just played his first game for the Stags. He came out of Verdon High School, so yeah, you can do it from anywhere down here, mate.
How do you keep them playing rugby? Because, or get them interested in playing rugby and staying with rugby? Because it seems, around the country we're hearing about basketball, we're hearing about volleyball, taking all these kids away from our traditional sports. Is that a thing that is happening in Southland as well? Do you have to work hard in terms of retention or not?
Big thing is we let all our players play different sports. So Friday night they play basketball. Thursday night they'll be playing volleyball, that sort of stuff. They play hockey socially and competitively on a Monday night. We don't make them choose one sport, so all their options are open. Just an example of that, we had our winger that played in the final. We didn't play in the semi-final because he chose to go and play basketball in the South Island competition. So there's an East to West call on Saturday afternoon to get him to Palmerston North, and he played a full game on the wing for us. So yeah, there's no secret. We've got some really good parents involved, just parent coaches and that sort of stuff. So they come in and give up their time. So it's based all on that.
Did you realise just how much it meant to the area when you coming home to that reception and the possibility of a ticker tape parade? And I mean, this is, you've had some wonderful sporting teams down there, but at this age group level, did you realise how big it would be?
No, honestly, never thought it was going to be this big. It's people that not even interested in rugby and that sort of stuff. It's just the texts, the messages that all the coaches say, far out, this guy's texting me, this lady's texting me. I actually don't think at the moment we realise how big it is. Most probably think in the next couple of days. Just one of the coaches was saying his family were in Invercargill in the street listening and watching the game, and every time we'd score points, there was a massive cheer, and then 2 doors down there was another massive cheer, and then across the road there's another cheer. And then at the end of the game, the whole street was erupting. It was a bit like when they announced the COVID lockdown, all the teachers erupting around the country, I think.
Jason, I just wonder about the age group of this particular crop. I mean, when you look at the end of the season, approaching next season, what's next year's draft look like?
We've got half our team coming back. Like I said, our under 15 is a good feeder team. Our second 15 won the competition down here. So, yeah, we've just produced good kids that turn into good rugby players. So, and that's all hard work through the school. Just looking at our core values and that with teachers in the classroom, making boys accountable. So if they're accountable off the field, at least accountability on the field, we're really big believers in that. So yeah, rugby looks good in Southland Boys High School in the next the wee while. So we couldn't go back to back, could we?
Well, I'm sounding. You're thinking it could be quite the thing to do. You certainly, unlike the Spanish women's football team, you didn't find Palmerston North boring.
We love Palmerston North, mate. Like the people at the institute was fantastic. Like that was a big part of our success. Like the facilities they've got there, like the hot and colds and that sort of stuff. Just yeah, fantastic. The food. We even spent 3 hours in the middle of Palmerston North, mate. How good. The sun was shining. That mall there was fantastic. We had no problems with Palmerston North.
Hey, I'll tell you what is a good story. Okay, Westlake, you beat Westlake in the final, but you draw a line at on the north shore of Auckland where Westlake is, then you take that line all the way down to Southland Boys High. There is a hell of a lot of rugby teams, schools, money, etc. between those two lines. That might be quite satisfying to you as well to think that even Westlake and yourselves can get to that point.
Oh, without a doubt, mate. Yeah. Huge accomplishment when you think of I think there's 250, 300 first 15s throughout New Zealand, and for us to be the best in New Zealand, that's like I said to a guy the other day. I said 5 years ago, if you said this could happen, you'd say you're silly. I said even a year ago, you think this was not possible, and even before the top 4, people were writing us off and that sort of stuff. So yeah, Southland Boys High School first 15, mate, are not supposed to win the national top 4 final, and for it to happen is like even on was it Tuesday? I still can't believe it.
So, I just heard a little bit at the end of the commentary there. Does that make you eligible for a world tournament? Yeah.
I'm unsure really. I think they have a tournament in Japan in March next year, far as we know, but nobody's reached out to us yet. So we'll enjoy this occasion, and then if that arises, we'll head over.
That would be fantastic payoff for these guys. So, absolutely. In terms of your structure, your coaching structure, is it purely done from a teaching point of view, or do you have outside influence as well?
We've got Peter Scout's one of our coaches. He's a long-time servant at Southland Boys High School. He was involved in the Ranfurly Shield era at Rugby Southland. He's really good mentor for the boys. He sort of stepped back and sort of lets us run on that sort of stuff, but the work he does in the background is instrumental. Got another teacher at school, Chris Mackerick. He did our defence this year. Like, defence of our boys have been first class this year. Like, we've just the work that he goes in behind the scenes, just studying other teams' attack patterns and that sort of stuff. And even against the Westlake team, we knew they had dangerous outside backs, and just the detail that we could get into the team on Saturday just for half an hour was instrumental in our win. Also, Marty McKenzie's helping us out. He's been fantastic with the boys. Only a year out of playing footy himself. Just the way he bonds with the boys, he's got a massive future as a rugby coach. Just the detail and the ability he can deal with kids at this age. Got quite a famous scrum coach, Jason Rutledge. He played a bit of rugby. He's just starting to get into a bit of coaching and that sort of stuff. So he's unreal. So yeah, we've got a few people, coaches that are doing a fantastic job, and they just give up their time and that sort of stuff. So.
It's just such a great story, Jason. We're thrilled that we're able to drag you out of the classroom and get a bit of time with you, mate. It's just a real feel-good story about the game. Even, heading into a World Cup, that you think that Southland Boys High School could get headlines a week out from that. It's just it's really touching stuff. So congratulations from us here at SENZ and from the rugby fraternity as well. And long may the celebrations go on, eh? Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome, mate. Thanks very much. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, cheers. Jason Dermody, their coach, very proud coach. You can hear it puffing out his chest almost, can't you, about that performance, Louis? That is just one of the most impressive stories in rugby for quite some time, when you think about how much is invested and put into and scouted, etc., in certain parts of the country. And here you got these kids just roll up their sleeves, pay for everything themselves, or their parents do, and get stuck in and win. Great story.
It's almost lump in the throat sort of stuff when you hear him say, we've got a whole network of teachers that ask for accountability in the classroom, and then we get accountability on the field. And you watch the news and there's so much bad press about youth and ram raiding and youth crime and that sort of thing. And you hear a guy who's just so passionate about rugby, but are passionate about young people and young New Zealanders and Southlanders through and through. And I'm not from the region, we're just here in the South Island, but I'm just so proud, and I'm not even from there. Can you imagine being a Southlander at the moment? You'd be brimming with joy, even if you didn't go to the school, just from the region, and hearing people erupting every time they scored. I mean, it's kind of fairy tale stuff, and you could hear Jason. He's still a little bit in shock, I think, Smithy.
Yeah. I don't know if a ticker tape parade will come to pass, but wouldn't that be something?
SENZ. It's Kiwi for sport.